Hello, everyone. My name is Eunice. This is like my first video. And as I was sitting here reflecting, I decided to make this video just to share a word of encouragement. And with that being said, my name is Eunice, if I didn't say that already. Yeah. And the topic, the theme of this video is literally called Giving Honor to Whom Honor is Due. And with that being said, I titled it Giving Honor to Whom Honor is Due because, I did some self reflecting and I just thought to myself, it's important to honor God so that God can honor us, right? So we want to honor him so that he can honor us, right? So giving honor to whom honor is due. God. Simple. And I'm going to be taking my text scripture reading from the book of Second Samuel. And it's Second Samuel because the first half is First Samuel, Second Samuel. It was literally just like a long book. And instead of it just being like in one book and having like over 150 verses and 150 chapters, it's split into two parts, which is why it's First Samuel and then there's Second Samuel. That's just like a little story for those who were like, I don't know why it's First Samuel, Second Samuel. Yeah, now you know. And so I'm going to be reading from Second Samuel chapter 6. Second Samuel chapter 6, and I read verse 8. David was angry because the Lord's anger had burst out against Uzzah. He named that place Perez Uzzah, which means to burst out against Uzzah, as it is still called today. Okay? Verse 8, David was angry because the Lord's anger had burst out against Uzzah. He named that place Perez Uzzah, which means to burst out against Uzzah, as it is still called today. Verse 9, David was now afraid of the Lord, and he asked, how can I ever bring the ark of the Lord back into my care? Yeah. How can he bring it back into his care, right? And I'm going to stop right there. So basically, a little background of, what happened before leading up to what I just read in chapter 6. Basically, Saul was the previous king, and, as he was the previous king, God had literally sent him out to destroy the Amalekites. Just go, destroy, kill them all. And literally Saul goes and he's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of sort of honor God, but not all the way. I'm gonna kill the people, but I'm gonna bring back the king, King Agag, and then I'm gonna bring back sheep and whatever appeared to look good. And as I thought about that, I just was wondering to myself, man, why would I go against giving honor to God and just doing something completely opposite, right? And so leading up until this point, basically, David is moving into a city, literally a city named after him, city of David, okay? And the ark of the Lord at the time was sacred. There was really not a temple. So it was literally the chess piece of God. And so wherever you moved, the ark of the Lord also moved, but it was sacred. So you couldn't touch it and you couldn't physically look at it, cuz you did, you was dead, you was gone. That was why Uzzah had died, because he touched it. You can't touch the ark. That's just point blank period. Can't touch it. And so he touched it and he died. And literally David is what do I do? It caused him to fear God, honor right then and there, rather than being okay, you killed Uzzah, now I'm pissed, I don't want to be king anymore, I'm just gonna go back. He was like, no. I need to figure out how to get this chess piece of God with me into the city of David. And, as I looked at verse 8 and verse 9, I just thought, wow, God is sovereign. God is not just anyone to just be played with. God is a sovereign God. Imagine you touch something that is so sacred that God is you done. What? And I'm going to jump ahead, okay? So to verse 21, still in Second Samuel chapter 6, verse 21, okay? David retorted to Michal, I was dancing before the Lord who chose me above your father and all his family, okay? Because she was the daughter of Saul. He appointed me as the leader of Israel, the people of the Lord. So I celebrate before the Lord. Okay, he was celebrating at this point, he moves into the city and he's celebrating God. He's giving honor to whom honor is due. And literally, Mikal is like pissed. She was watching them celebrating from a window. Like, girl, just come out and join in, and you rather sit from a window and be bitter. And so, verse 22, yes, and I am willing to look even more foolish than this, even to be humiliated in my own eyes. But those servant girls you mentioned will indeed think I am distinguished. So, this was David still talking, replying back to Michal, like after she made her rude remark. And he literally responds back to her and says, yes, I'm willing to look foolish in the name of God. Like, in giving honor to whom honor is due, I'm celebrating God. Like, God has called me for such an appointed time as this. And so, with that being said, he was like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to celebrate God. And if I look foolish, who cares, right? And so she's like, okay, well, fine. So, verse 23, so Michal, the daughter of Saul, remained childless throughout her entire life. Went. Like, now she goes, makes her little smart comments, which is why, as believers, right then and there, I also took from it was we have to measure our words with salt. You cannot just open your mouth and just say whatever, especially to whom God has called for such an appointed time. Now she goes and makes her rude rhetoric remarks, and now she ends up childless and barren her entire life. That is not okay. That's not the portion of what God has intended for any of us. Okay? We have to understand God and actually know God so that when it comes to honor, you don't just honor God, but you honor man too. You honor who God has called. Okay? And so, from what I took from the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6, was giving honor to whom honor is due. And that was the topic of this message that I wanted to share. I didn't want to make this like super long. This is like my first video of me like just talking about Christ, like the basic message, the good news, Christ. Like, come on. And with that being said, I wanted to really encourage all of us to just give honor to whom honor is due. Like, you don't want to end up like Mikal. You don't want to end up like Uzzah. Okay? Two people here. Two people in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6. Uzzah and Mikal. Uzzah and Mikal. Uzzah literally touched the ark. No, that's honor. You don't touch it. Period. Everybody knew then. You don't touch it. Don't touch it. And Mikal, no. Our mouths, we have to watch what we say. As believers, we don't talk to each other in any type of way. When you go and you disrespect another believer in the same Lord that you also worship, it doesn't end well. Like, literally, it does not end well. This was not like even a spiritual matter. It's the fact that physically she literally became like childless throughout her entire life. Imagine a situation like that. It could have been worse, way worse. But we give honor to whom honor is due, and God is like going to do right by us because we respect God and we honor God. And another verse that stood out to me was Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2. And it literally says, honor your father and your mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, that it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. That's another thing. We got to honor the people who have been with us, raised us, cared for us, depending on your home situation, okay? And because we want to live long, right? But we want to enjoy the benefits of God by living long on earth, right? So not like in a carnal matter, like, but like in a manner of like respecting God because God is sovereign. And so, with that being said, another verse too that stood out to me was Proverbs 15, verse 33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Before honor is humility. You walk in humility, you honor everyone, not just people who hold a title. Like, you know those people in your lives. You honor everyone, okay? It's humility. Humility. I think next time I'll do like a video on like bearing fruit, because then that just goes into like bearing fruit, like goodness, kindness, love, peace, joy, okay? And so with that being said, the title of this video was giving honor to whom honor is due. And I didn't want to make this super long because I'm not watching no long videos on YouTube of just someone rambling. Like, I want to hear about God. Like, keep the focus, the attention on God. And so with that being said, I really do hope that this video, I can only pray and hope and faith that this video, this little message that I had has blessed you as it has ministered to me, okay? 2 Samuel chapter 6, okay? And so, yeah, I hope this video has blessed you as it has blessed me. And let us all understand and begin, if not by now, to walk in humility, walk in honoring, and giving reverence to whom honor is due, like God, period. And so, stay tuned. I'm going to be having more videos come out, okay, child? This is just the beginning, okay? The beginning, okay? Stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day, week. Remember, walking in honor, humility, like that is it. You're looking for a word, walk in honor and humility, giving honor to whom honor is due. Okay? Stay blessed. Okay?